What other resources or, books or podcasts or things like that have you been able to take knowledge from and really implement into your life?
Not necessarily when it comes to running the actual business itself, but I think one of the most impactful books that I've ever read is called Never Eat Alone. I believe it's by Keith Ferrazzi, and Keith Ferrazzi was, I think he was like an executive at Deloitte, and he was like head of marketing. So basically, trying to bring in clients to Deloitte Consulting. So he has a massive network, and he kind of talks about like how he goes through picking out people to make friends with, like how he goes about making an impactful connection and a meaningful connection, being genuine, all of that. And I think reading that book really inspired me, especially at Babson, to just be as social as humanly possible. Try and make as many connections as I can. And two kind of points about this that I wanted to bring up. The first being that like a lot of and my mentality too over COVID was like it's so important to just dial in. Like I need to cut out all other distractions, cut out all of my friends. But I don't think that's a super like sustainable way of going about running a business. I think that it's very important to have that social outlet, have your social friends to be able to relax. But then also like maybe not as much in high school when everyone like no one had practical work experience or like minimal work experience. But coming out of college, I think it's going to be so important to like keep all of the relationships that I've made in college, while I move down the line in terms of my career, because it'll help out so much if I am, looking for a job at another business or need to hire people or need to shoot suggestions around. Like having a big network is, very valuable.
I hadn't heard of this book before, but I did a little bit of research on it very quickly. It seems very cool. It almost reminds me a little bit about the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Mm.
That one was a very impactful book for me, and it helped me become a lot more social and kind of recognize different cues. So I definitely want to check out this one. But besides this book, I mean, you've been out there going and networking with people now for a little bit at college. Were there any
Mm.
networking tips that you have for us that people could implement in their own lives?
Yeah. So one point that I think, because I also read How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think that book does a very good job of emphasizing this point. But that is, um, people like you need to provide value to other people for them to provide value back to you. So it's not like you can just approach anyone and ask for something. A much better way, not only for yourself, but also just for everyone as a whole, is to go up to someone, try and provide value to them in some way, whether it be, connecting them to someone else, being super nice to them, like making them smile, whatever it is, provide value to them. They'll realize that you're a valuable person. And then it's a lot easier to build a genuine connection based off of that, where you guys both help each other back and forth. Yeah. And I think that being able to show how you're providing value and provide value to other people in a strategic way is extremely important.